Welcome to the syllabus video for the web section of CIS 243. I'm your instructor, Robert Unseld, and we're going to take a moment to go over the syllabus in somewhat of a detailed fashion. I am your instructor, but I also have a background in computer science and management information systems, and I work in the Career Center on campus. So as you begin to look for a job, I'm a contact that you need to keep in your phone. So let's jump right into the course objectives. This course is designed to help you gain competencies in management information systems. To go further, it's to help you actually develop the skills necessary for you to progress quickly through your career in your post-collegiate experience. So, as a good, savvy consumer of information and a well-qualified citizen of this world, there's certain things you need to do or know to be able to navigate this technical environment that we find ourselves in. What we're going to look at in this course is kind of 10 topics, and we're going to look at each of them individually as we progress through the course and make our way through the readings, the activities, and the exams. Basic computer technology, I think that's pretty obvious. To take this course, you had to complete either CIS 141, CIS or CS 145, or an equivalent course. So you should have a strong foundation and just understanding kind of the basics of computer technology. We're going to do a little review of that during the second week, which will be the first week of readings. And then we're going to move kind of deeper into all of the different aspects of management information systems after that. Secondly, database system, data warehouses, and data marts, data. And that's going to play an increasingly more important role as we move into the other aspects of data and those competencies 3 to 7. Now, I'm not going to read all those to you. At this level, I feel like you're competent to read those different things and to understand them, but know that the main thing we're going to be working on in the lectures and the readings is helping you understand how computer information systems or management information systems are going to support the decision-making ability of people in industry. And as you all probably will be, or as you seem to be pursuing going down this kind of academic path. So the main takeaway that I want you to get from this is that the competencies we're going to be looking at are going to make you more apt to use the correct tools to get to the information that you need to make good business decisions. The next thing we're going to look at, not just the topical areas, but are some kind of applied skills, and we are going to dive deep and broad in Excel 2013. Now, in the CIS 141 course, we did do some support for Office 2011. That's not the case with this course. We're going to stick very strictly to the Microsoft environment. Although I am recording this video on a Mac, from the standpoint of the course, we're only going to be working in Windows. The tutorials have been recorded using Windows 8.1. I know Windows 10 is recently released. You can use that if you want. But the level of support that we're going to be extending is going to be for Windows 7 and Windows 8.1. I will try my best to help you navigate any shortfalls that may come from Windows 10. But the safe thing to do would be to operate in an environment with a proven operating system. And that goes also for number 3, which is Access 2013. We're not digging too deep into Access. We're going to do one Access project. There's going to be a video tutorial to support you along the way, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the SAM projects. So now that we've looked at kind of an overview of the course, let's take a step back and look at how this course is going to be delivered to you. You signed up for an online course, and that's exactly what you're going to get. This course is going to be delivered through Blackboard, so we're not going to be meeting in person. With that said, there's going to be a good amount of online assignments. We use a platform called SAMS. You should be familiar with it if you took CIS 141. So I'm not going to discuss that too much, but I do want you to know that you can use your own computing environment, a Windows-based computer, but the environment that's going to be most suitable is probably in a lab. So if you're on main campus or on one of the other satellite regional campuses, there should be a lab on that campus or a computer on that campus you can use. If not, a Windows-based machine should work, but again, it's going to be online. So I think that's what we all knew going into this. I just want to make sure we state that in this discussion. Our text is going to be MIS 5. Now, that's the textbook that I'm going to be reading and instructing from. MIS 4 is very similar, but I'm not going to be able to respond to a page number from MIS 4. I don't have that textbook. I'm not using it. I'm using MIS 5. I recommend you use it as well. The author is Bigali. That's should get you to the right book, and I've given you an ISBN number, a 13-digit and a 10-digit. How you get this textbook is completely up to you. If you choose to rent it, that is fine. If you choose to purchase it, that's fine as well. I know it is available online. We're not going to really review those readings until the second book of class, so that'll give you 5 to 7 days to find a textbook and read for that first reading. Later, in a separate video, we'll go over the schedule, which you'll be able to view once you do the syllabus quiz. But the textbook for this course is MIS 5. And I don't want to belabor the point, but I do want to make sure that you know what text we have and you get the correct books. Along with the required text, there are a couple other things that are important for you to be successful in the course. One is regular access to a computer with high-speed internet. We'll talk more about that when we get to the schedule. We're going to be communicating through your WKU email address. So if you're not using that as your primary email address for class and academic correspondence, you will need to use it for this course. That will be the emails I'm responding to are going to have to come from a Topper or a WKU account. Otherwise, I'm not going to guarantee a response to those. Access to Microsoft Office 2013 is imperative. We've talked about Excel, we've talked about Access, we won't go over that again. And then finally, a storage device for you to keep the files you're working on. That is important if you're using the lab machines. Most of the lab machines that WKU maintains automatically erase user content and user data every time the machine is logged off the network. So if you're going to be using a lab machine, you're going to need a reliable USB storage device. I imagine you probably talked a little bit about that in CIS 141. We're not going to talk about what a USB storage device is in this course, really. So I hope you're comfortable there. Let's talk about assurance of learning. What are we going to do to make sure that you are getting the skills that we deem necessary in the College of Business for you to be successful in the field of management information systems? We're going to challenge you to do some critical thinking. The task you'll be doing, the readings and the hands-on projects will hopefully challenge, force, encourage you to solve problems, do some critical reflective thinking. We want you to find your way through a lot of this stuff. There will be help videos, but what is more important is your ability to face something that you have never seen before and to, through investigative skills with a framework that is built on the readings, really dive into this stuff and take some chances, take some risk, and try to accomplish these things without a lot of hand holding. When we're talking about business, we want you to recognize the impact of solutions, alternative solutions, and recognize just a broader understanding than just the nuts and bolts. To just go through these one by one, we want you to learn how to identify various approaches to business problems, to understand the influencers and the influences on potential solutions, be able to look for alternate solutions, and to make sound decisions. Now, that is a lofty goal for this course, but we're going to try our best to take a look at these things, not just from the perspective of the book, which we are going to, we chose this book, so we agree with most of the perspective of the book, but we're also going to incorporate some other outside media, whether it be articles from NPR, videos from YouTube, or other relevant sources, to really amp up this assurance of learning. The next is student use of technology. Now, we're going to have you using technology. The fact that you're taking this as a web course means that the technological aspect of the course is going to be amped up. We're going to make sure you understand how to use the internet for educational research purposes. That's going to be kind of your first place to go to troubleshoot some of the projects we're going to be doing. We're going to show you how to collect and analyze data using spreadsheets, how to understand databases, what their purpose is, how and why they're designed in certain manners, and to conceptualize topics to find out how to present things to the course. Now, to the class. We're not going to be doing a whole lot of presenting. That's kind of a generic thing we want you to understand. But in this course, we're going to really hone in on number 2, collecting and analyzing data using spreadsheets, and number 3, understanding the purpose of a database. So that's one, again, of the other kind of assurances of learning that we're looking to accomplish. Now, here's what you're probably most interested in, and this is how you will be graded. We're going to start the semester off this first week with a syllabus quiz. If you're watching this video, you're getting prepared for that. This is a good simulation of how the course will go. After you watch this video, I want you to participate in that syllabus quiz. It is for 0 points, but the rest of the class content is going to be unavailable if you do not complete it, and you must complete it with 100%. So it has an unlimited amount of attempts, but you're going to have to take that thing over and over and over and over again until you get 100% on the syllabus quiz. The reason that's important is I want to make sure that you understand the constraints that come from taking an online class. As your instructor, you and I will not be meeting face to face, so it's going to be imperative that when instructions are given in this online format, that you're reading everything, conceptualizing and synthesizing the information, and making meaning to where you can take appropriate action. The one way we're going to do that is with this syllabus quiz. After you watch this video and you've read this document, you'll then be quizzed over it. And I imagine that you're going to have to reflect on it in some manner to pass that quiz. So that syllabus quiz actually in the test is worth 1 point, even though points available is 0. So there's already 1 bonus point there for you. And then the rest of the course is broken out in direct relation to its impact. We're going to do 10 Excel projects. They'll be staged out. We'll see that when we get to the schedule later on. 1 Access project, 10 concept quizzes. Practically, these concept quizzes are almost chapter quizzes. We're only covering, I believe, 13 chapters of the book. There's 10 quizzes. So each chapter is going to involve some reflective quizzing, so you get that information, synthesize it, and be able to answer questions on it. We're going to do 3 exams in this course, 2 unit exams, each at 100 points. The units will be clearly defined. We're going to use the units in the book to structure those exams around, so you'll know when you're getting close to an exam as you're reading through the book and you're reaching the end of a particular portion or a unit of the book. The last exam is going to be proctored. That's going to be through DLO's office. We'll talk about that later, but that one is going to be in person with a exam proctor, and it's worth 100 points. Now, if you look over in that right-hand column, you'll see that we've got some numbers here, and there's a placeholder in the second column, but there's not one down here at the bottom. Well, here's how this course is structured. You have the possibility to earn up to 1,050 points, but the grading scale is going to be based on 1,000-point maximum. So if we look here, every 100 points equals a grade letter. So 900 to 1,000, that's an A. 800 to 899, B. 700 to 799, C. 600 to 699, D. And 0 to 599 is an F. And just for the record, these last two are really inexcusable. There's no reason why you're not getting a 700 or better when 600 of your points are wrapped up in projects that you have months to complete. Now, with that said, being that there's an extra 50-point cushion built into the course, actually 51 points if you count the syllabus quiz, there's not going to be any rounding when it comes to your grades. So if you earn a 799, you have earned a C. If you've earned an 895, that's a B. So the points you get directly control the score or the grade you'll get for the course. The syllabus quiz is going to be tied to certain things, so a lot of the course is not going to become available until after you complete it. But I think this is a very straightforward and easy to understand grading scale. So what I would encourage you to do is to take all the time that you're allocated to do these projects and to do them well, because they make up 60% of the course. And for that percent of the course, all you have to do is just take some time and develop those competencies in Excel and Access. Let's talk about kind of the course deliverables. These are the things you will see populate in Blackboard as the course develops. The syllabus quiz, we've talked about it. We've got worth 0, but it's worth 1. You can take it as many times as you want, and it's the only way of moving on to the rest of the Blackboard site. Concept and projects. The learning unit activities, when we're talking about these activities, those will be video lectures. Some will be given by me. Others will be given by other MIS instructors. So the SAMS projects will have different voices on them. For the most part, the video lectures through the book will have my voice. There may be some from other instructors, but the key takeaway here is that this is just a small component. The video lectures are hearing the audio from an instructor while you're staring at the screen. That is not going to be enough to get you through it. It is just one portion of the course deliverables. The next are the concept quizzes. Now, what's integral to this is that these quizzes are based on the text and portions of the video lecture. So if you just watch the video lecture, there may be questions that were never mentioned. There are topics, subtopics, micro points that were never mentioned in the video lectures that show up in the concept quizzes. Likewise, if you just do the readings and you don't participate in the video lectures or any of the other online content, there will be portions of the quizzes that are referring to that content which you did not take part in. So, in essence, you're going to have to participate in the whole course to get a whole grade on these concept quizzes. You'll have 5 opportunities to take them. I encourage you to take those 5, use all 5 of them. What we'll do is we will give you the highest score of the bunch. So if you get a 1, a 2, a 9, a 7, and a 4, we're going to count that 9 for this quiz for that score, okay? Next one's spreadsheet and database projects. We use a vended product called SAMS. It allows you to download Office documents, to use those downloaded assets, configure them and walk through step-by-step instructions, re-upload those and get scored. You're going to have an opportunity to take those 3 times, and there will be videos provided that will walk you through those, but you are expected to do due diligence. And let me just highlight that there for you. I want you to make sure you are doing your best before you contact me. This is not an introductory course. At this point in your academic career, you need to build competence and independence. And that's what this course is geared towards. Take your time and go through those videos. Go through those SAM projects. Now, once you get stumped, go to the internet. Use your resources and try to find that answer. You can go through the SAM site. We've got some written tutorials that address some of the more difficult portions of those SAM projects. But what is important is that you are building competence and confidence in your ability to navigate this software and to use it to accentuate your skill set. If you get to a point where you cannot move forward and you need some help, shoot me some email, but I'm going to be looking for informed questions. And there is also a video on email etiquette. We're going to talk about that too. So that's another part of those deliverables are spreadsheets and database projects. The third piece is the exams. There's going to be 3 exams, 2 unit exams and a final. We talked about the scoring there. The unit exams you can take from anywhere. Now they are timed. You only get to take them once, and they will auto submit. And this is critical for you to understand this point because it goes back to the broader requirement of a reliable broadband internet connection. The exams are timed in a manner where you're not going to have a whole lot of time. So to put it bluntly, being this is an online course, the exam is not going to give you enough time to go through and find the answer in that part of the book while the question's up there. You're going to need to have read the book, understand the book, listened to the video lectures, and participated in any of the content around the video lectures to where you can complete that final exam within the allocated time. Things that are not excuses that will not be accepted is my computer doesn't work, my internet connection is lost. Those things can be mitigated by going to a computer lab at the closest campus to where you are. So when it comes to these exams and all the projects, and when we look at the schedule, what is most important is that if you're prepared for the exams, they shouldn't be an issue. But we're not going to be making allowances for things that are avoidable, especially when we know them all on the first day of class. Like what we talked about before, the final exam must be taken at an approved proctored location. That will be set up as the course progresses. It's going to be administered through the DLO Test Center. You can check them out at this site. And we'll cover that more as we get closer to the final. The final for this class is during finals week. I think we're going to be taking ours during December 9th and 10th. So we've got a lot of time before we get there. More details will be materializing about that. But know that that final exam is proctored and you're going to have to be available to go to a test center. All right. Due dates and assignment availability. Specific dates are going to be established, they're listed, and they're in the course schedule, so you'll know about it all ahead of time. Class attendance. Well, we're not checking attendance. So this is where it becomes imperative on you to manage your time wisely. I would suggest that you stay involved in the course, that you check Blackboard once a day. Your email as well. If I make an announcement on Blackboard, I'll make sure that it sends it as an email. Make sure that you're keeping up with the due dates and work on it a little every day. I would make a habit out of this course where you're logging in, you're completing those SAMS projects, and you're making sure you're spending time looking at those other course deliverables. And the last piece is that you are responsible for your learning. And to that end, you're responsible for asking informed questions. Do not look at your academic career from this sophomore, junior level or above as just checking boxes and completing tasks. But think of it as really getting that return on investment for the large investment you're making in time and treasure here at Western Kentucky University. So I really want you to see your attendance as more of what you're getting out of the tuition dollars you're spending in this course. So that's the attendance policy. We're not checking it, but keep yourself motivated and on task. I'm going to highlight this little piece here for you. It's academic dishonesty. You've probably heard this in every class, and you're going to hear it again for this class. I want you to know that no form of academic dishonesty is going to be tolerated in this course. And when we say academic dishonesty, when I say academic dishonesty, I mean any form of collaboration. So everything you do in this course should be you doing it alone. Now, of course, it's going to be difficult for me to discover academic dishonesty, but if and when I do, it's going to result in an F for the course. And I want to just highlight this so you can understand that there are no second chances. So if I detect academic dishonesty, you're getting an F for the course, and then that's the end of it. So be aware of that, do your own work, make sure you're managing your time well, and I believe everything will be fine. These next two sections are for special groups. If you're a veteran or in need of support and you are a active member of the military, a veteran or a dependent of the military, you can go to the Veterans Resource Center that's in Tate Page Hall in Bowling Green, Kentucky. That's on the main campus in room 410. Or you can visit this website, and if there are supports that you need that they provide, I believe they'll be very happy to provide them. So I would definitely avail myself of that if I'm a veteran. If you're a student with a disability, you can avail yourself of the services at the Student Accessibility Resource Center. That's in Downing Student Union 1074. Again, that's the Bowling Green campus. And if you do need accommodations, you do not tell me directly unless you have a letter of accommodation from this office. So the Student Accessibility Resource Center, if you have a disability, that's the first place you want to go on campus to let them know that you're in need of accommodations and have them be an advocate on your behalf. In my role, I work in the Center for Career and Professional Development, but I am also a member of staff at the Student Accessibility Resource Center. So if you need help, reach out to them and I'll connect with them and we'll make sure we're making reasonable accommodations. One other thing I want you to know before we go to just kind of additional stuff is email and Blackboard. These are the official means of communication for this course. We talked about it, but I want to say it one more time. The email that I'll be checking, the email that I'll be sending out to you are going to be those topper email addresses and those WKU email addresses. So if you have another email account that you use regularly and you do not check your topper email account or your WKU email account, that's a behavior you're going to have to at least bend for the purposes of this course. Because anything critical, any and every critical communication that you will receive from me will come through a WKU email address or as a Blackboard announcement. Last thing, these are the provisos and the fine print, okay? As your professor, I do reserve the right to make changes to the syllabus as necessary. This is also the case for the schedule. So if things need to change, I'll keep you informed, but things may change. So be prepared for that. Grades will be posted promptly after each assignment because your grades are going to be generated through Blackboard. So you should see those. They should come there pretty quickly. There's a 10-day period for you to kind of contest those grades, but I'm going to be very honest with you. With this being a Blackboard course and everything you do going straight through the system into Blackboard, you're going to have a very compelling reason to change anything, any of those grades in Blackboard. Now, certainly we can cross that bridge when we get to it, but I just want to make you aware. It's your responsibility to be familiar with the academic calendar. We're going to go over the schedule. There's 2 breaks to this semester. We have a fall break and a Thanksgiving break. I know that we all have lives outside of this class, but you'll have the schedule in advance and make sure you can accommodate the workload as we're moving forward. Exceptions will not be made regarding late ads, drops, or final exam conflicts. And I think that's pretty straightforward. The due date is the due date, and that's the due date. So be aware of that when you begin to put your calendar together for this semester. Include the important dates from this class calendar so we can be allies when it comes to schedules and dates. Incompletes and deadline extensions are not allowed. I think we covered that. The one thing I do want to talk to you about is with the SAM projects. If you're in this course, you've probably done SAM projects in the past. When those things disappear, they disappear. And an excuse that I did not have an internet connection or I ran out of time, those things are not going to carry much weight. To be very honest, you're going to have ample time to complete everything in this course. So let's not try to ask for extended deadlines. Let's not try to make up excuses. Let's get things done like the responsible adults we are, okay? Now, if there is a rare medical emergency, if there's something that happens that is a life-changing event, we can talk about that. But shy of that happening, we're not changing the schedule or we're making schedule exemptions under any circumstances. And then the last thing is if you have a problem with Blackboard, don't wait for it to resolve itself. Report it to information technology. Now, a problem with Blackboard is that you can never get logged in. Not you can't see certain content in the course. If you can't see some content in the course, there may be some Blackboard settings on your end that have gone a little wonky. It also may be that you didn't complete the syllabus quiz and you can't see anything. But make sure you're doing your due diligence. Research these things independently, not just so it's not about making sure you're not bothering people. That's not it. You need to learn these things. You need to learn how to independently diagnose the issues you're having with the computer systems you're working with so you can progress in your career. The course schedule, this is the last thing we're going to talk about. The course schedule is posted. We're going to cover it in another video, and that wraps up the syllabus. So right now you should have all the information you need to complete that syllabus quiz. In that syllabus quiz folder, you're going to see the course schedule video. Review it. It's important. We don't have a course schedule quiz. Although some questions about the course schedule may show up on the concept quiz, but just know you need to get that done. And the other thing we're going to talk about is email etiquette. That too will be in that course, in that first week of content that is locked under lock and key by the syllabus quiz. So complete that, and I look forward to being in this course with you guys and getting to hopefully have a little back and forth and communicate. So have a great morning, day, evening, whenever you're viewing this, and let's get this course going.